How's it going, everybody? Tim here, the Greyhound Guru of GreyhoundBusGuru.com, and today I am going to be doing a Greyhound bus station review. Now, I got a suggestion in one of the comments. A viewer had said, "Why not talk about some of the bus stations you've been to, and just kind of give people a heads up of what to expect?" And I thought, this is a great idea. So today I want to start with a review of the Atlanta, Georgia bus station. One of my first trips ever, it was 2011. I was going up to North Dakota on the Greyhound bus so that I could work on the oil rigs. And one of the first transfers ever I had was at the Atlanta, Georgia Greyhound bus station, so I've never forgotten it. And I have to say that overall, it's a lot better bus station than you might expect for Atlanta, Georgia. First off, one of the things I don't like about it is the area where you load and unload. At a lot of Greyhound bus stations, you're inside some kind of fence. A lot of them, the buses have to drive through a fence or some kind of wall or partition. Usually, when you're loading or getting on or off the Greyhound bus, you feel like you're, even though you're outside, kind of inside the confines of the station. This isn't true at the Atlanta bus station. The bus basically pulls up to the curb outside the bus station, and that's where you do your loading and unloading. I really don't like this because as you're getting off the bus, you're getting your luggage. Anybody can just kind of walk down the street and be up in the mix, looking at your luggage, grabbing people's luggage. I don't like that. It's way too out in the open for me. I wish they would redo the station so that there was some kind of barrier from just the general population walking down the street. This also, the loading and unloading area, another thing I don't like about it is that once you leave the sidewalk, you have to go up this kind of ramp doohickey thing to get into the station. And vice versa, when you are boarding your bus, you're inside, then you have to go down the ramp to get your bus. I've seen lots of confusion here where employees have been, inside the station and instructing people on what bus to get on. A lot of the stations, the bus is right there. You'll be standing at the door and they'll be like, okay, go get on that bus. At the Atlanta bus station, they have to kind of tell you because you can't really see the buses from inside the station where you're at. So I've seen, people come up, hey, where's my bus? My bus is about to leave. Where's it at? I've heard the employees, they'll say, hey, go down the ramp. Not the first bus, but the second bus. Because a lot of times the buses park side by side in the middle of the road. They take up the whole road. I don't think anybody else comes down that road. But yeah, there'll be 3 buses taking up the whole road. And the employee will say, go down the ramp, not the first bus, but the second bus, get on that one. The person will go down, they'll go to the wrong bus, they'll be counting 1, 2 instead of 1, 2, so what they think is the second bus is what the employee was saying was the first bus. They come back, that's not the right bus. The person's like, well, which bus did you go to? Where was that bus going? No, I told you to go to the other bus. So it can get kind of confusing because there's really, once you get outside, there's really no clear way of knowing which bus is your bus. Sometimes when you're loading, there is only one bus there, but when there's multiple buses, it can get kind of confusing, and I've seen people almost miss their buses because of this. So that's one thing I don't like about the Atlanta bus station, just the loading and unloading area. It's right there on the street. It's that little ramp deal you have to go down is a pain. I wish the buses were actually closer to the doors you exit out of. One of the things I do like about the Greyhound bus station is that the customer service I've experienced there has always been pretty good. There's been a couple times I had to change tickets, and I really didn't have much of a hassle. They were pretty understanding, changed my tickets for me for free because it wasn't my fault. My buses were late, things like that. So the customer service, pretty good at the Atlanta bus station that I've seen. They're pretty good about calling out the buses over the PA, letting you know when to line up, keeping people from lining up way too early. Pretty well-ran station, pretty smooth. The employees do a good job there, in my opinion, from my experience. So I do hats off to the Greyhound bus station when it comes to their customer service. Didn't really like the bathrooms there. Not saying that they were dirty. I just don't like the setup. Once you walk in the door, over here to the left is kind of the customer service area. Then you have, all the seating. Then all the way in the right in the corner are kind of the bathrooms. I'm real picky about bathroom location. I kind of like the bathrooms to be pretty close to the normal area. I mean, they are pretty close, but I just didn't like how they were in that corner. Once you went in the bathroom, you had to go around another corner. It just seemed like it'd be pretty easy for somebody to do something to you in those bathrooms and nobody would hear you. So this is just me being picky, me being a wuss. Like I said, I like the bathrooms that are right there, and if I scream, people can hear me. So I didn't really like the bathroom setup at the Atlanta Greyhound bus station, but that's just don't get all nervous. Nothing's going to happen to you, probably, but I just didn't like them. They also have a little food court area where you can buy some food. Typical Greyhound prices, so expect that. A couple vending machines, once again, overpriced. There were some games that were there. I kind of don't know why they have games at the Greyhound station. Who plays them? Anyway, the seating area, I don't feel is quite adequate enough for as big a station, as much activity as comes through that station. I just remember a lot of people sitting on the floor, leaning against walls. When there's 2 or 3 busloads of buses coming in and out at a time, it seems like the seats fill up pretty quickly. But then I have seen times when there was just, one bus in there and, you could find a seat. But lots of times when it was just pretty packed, like I said, people on the floor, leaning against the wall. I think it's funny about Greyhound that it's one of the few places where you're just so ready to get home to your destination that you'll just plop down on the floor and wait for your bus. You're just over it. People will sit on the floor. Who cares? Whatever. You're just too tired. Anyway, so yeah, the seating, they probably could have more seating at the station. I mean, it really, to be Atlanta, I would think they would have a bigger station. I mean, it's one of the biggest cities in the Southeast. I would imagine they had a bigger Greyhound bus station, but, that station's probably been there forever, and it would probably take too much money to make it bigger, not to mention the real estate costs would probably be crazy, because it's downtown Atlanta, to get any more room to build a bigger station. But they probably could use one. That's pretty much my review on it. Like I said, it's not a bad station. It's one of those stations when I'm gone, I'm glad I'm gone. I'm glad I'm over, done with it for that trip. But it's not a station that when I see it on my itinerary that I get nervous. There are some stations that when I see them on my itinerary, I'm like, oh boy, like Chicago. I don't like the Chicago bus station. Anyway, but Atlanta's not that bad. I'm pretty sure they have Greyhound security on hand, and I do know that there's usually Fulton County, Atlanta police, in and out of there on a regular basis. It's kind of, especially at night, it's kind of one of those places that they know something might go down. So security, police, you're going to be fairly safe. I will say, though, definitely, this is one of those stations. Do not go outside and wander around outside. This is one of those stations. It's like I said, it's in downtown, not probably the best area. Actually, I know it's not, because a good friend of mine actually got robbed at this station. This isn't someone told. Now, this is a good friend of mine. Got robbed at the Atlanta bus station. He was out wandering around. Actually, I know what he's probably doing. There's actually a strip club right across the street from it. So I know him. He's probably trying to go over there and see about getting, spend a little money on some scrippers. So he walked outside the station and he said he got like a block down the road. Guy jumped out of nowhere, pulled a knife on him. Run that. I need that. So he said the guy took his money and took his food. He had like a bag of food and stuff. He said the guy took his money, took his food. He was, kind of a classy sort of criminal. He let him keep his driver's license and all that stuff, his wallet. But he took all his money, took all his food, and then ran off. And my friend said that kind of sucked because he had like 12 hours or more left on his trip, and he didn't have any money to buy food, didn't have any of his food he brought with him, so very hungry. But that's the price you pay when you do stupid stuff like wandering around in a foreign city all hours of the night. If you're at the Greyhound bus station in Atlanta, just stay in the station. Do yourself a favor, stay in the station. You don't want to be out there because there's some people out there might do something to you. It's bad enough you got to be kind of out in the open when you're loading and unloading. So definitely don't just go wandering around. Not the place for that. But like I said, overall, not a bad Greyhound bus station. Customer service is good. Got place where you can get in there, get something to eat. Hopefully you can find a seat. If not, a lot of floor space. And I've never had anything bad happen there. My friend did, but me, I've been through there a number of times. Nothing bad happened. One time Homeland Security was there. I've mentioned this before. Had the dog searching people, machine guns. It was kind of, that was on my first bus trip. One of my first transfers ever on Greyhound. I'm there for 4 hours and there's machine guns and bomb sniffing dogs or whatever. I was just like, what have I got myself into? Because I had like 2 days left on my trip. Anyway, that was just my review on the Atlanta Greyhound bus station. I will try to do some more reviews on some other stations, though I will say, though, the stations that stick out most in my mind are the bad ones. But I will try to think of some stations that I really liked and do some reviews on them as well. As always, like I said, I'm the Greyhound Guru. Check out my blog, GreyhoundBusGuru.com. I'll leave a link in the description box. I answer a lot of the frequently asked questions about Greyhounds. So if you're planning a trip, have some questions, I'll probably answer it on my blog. And any other questions you have, you can leave them in the comment box, and I will get back to you and answer them to the best of my ability. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.